Hello, and welcome to Ina's Creations. My name is Ina Bradish. I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, and I love to craft. I have to say, I think my first and foremost love is crocheting. I spend a good portion of every day crocheting. It is my sanity saver. So I think what we're going to do today is we are going to crochet. It's called a 2-hour hat. My church that I go to does sleeping bags for the homeless. And I have a full-time job, so I can't help with the sewing of the sleeping bags. So I help with the things that they put in them. They put scarves, hats, mittens, or gloves, socks, and some toiletry items. And since I love to crochet, I make hats and I make scarves. So I found this pattern many years ago. We won't tell how many. And I have modified it to make it my own. If you look up on any of those sites that you like to look up for ideas, a 2-hour hat, crocheting, I'm sure you're going to find this pattern. As I said, I learned it many years ago. I have no idea where I learned it from, and I modified it to make it my own. So I'm going to switch us around, and I'm going to show you how I crochet. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with our slip knot. The way I do it, different than others, I wrap it around my finger, cross it over so that the one with the end is on the top, slightly pull it off, lay it across on the back, pull it through. There are 300 million ways of doing this. You do the one you like. Once again, I hold my hook a little bit differently. I hold it in this manner. And I was taught how to do this about 40 years ago, so I might have made it my own. I might be basing it off how my grandmother did it. And then you just yarn over, pull it through. This is called the chain, for those of you that don't know that. For those of you that do, congratulations. I'm proud of you. So we're going to do 36, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30. Try to make these as consistent as possible. You don't want to make them a whole bunch of different sizes. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, 35 is the actual length. And then we're going to add one more stitch just for our turnaround. Okay, I'm going to do a double crochet simply because it's a bigger stitch and it goes by faster, and we are doing a 2-hour hat. So I pick up, on the first one, I only pick up one of the loops so that I have something to attach it to easier when I finish. Okay, so I pick up the one loop, I have it yarned over, wrap it around, pull it through once, pull it through again, pull it through again. The last two, you're pulling it through 2 of them. Wrap it around, pull it through the one. So you have the 1, 2, 3 on there, pull it through again, pull it through again. All right, so the way I came up with the number 35, I really honestly do not remember if that was a number that they gave me that I found on a pattern somewhere. I believe that the way I decided on 35 was simply because I would chain and I would hold the knot on the middle of my head, and I would chain until it was down underneath my ear, so that when I made the hat, that there would be enough of the hat so that I could flip it up to make like a rim, or I don't know what the word is called. Getting old is rough. And so that's just how I came up with it. So if you have a bigger head, a slightly smaller head, poofier hair, you can modify this to work for you. Now, remember these ones that I'm making, these are the hats that I donate to my church. So I try to be pretty consistent, though I will periodically make one that's slightly bigger, slightly smaller, just in case, homeless come in all shapes and sizes. And sometimes it's not just, homeless that you would necessarily see on the streets. It would also be like some that are homeless, but they're living in their car, or just people who are in need. I do know that some of the sleeping bags that our church makes actually went down to, I don't know if it was Tennessee or North Carolina, where the hurricane hit in 2024, for the people who were just without proper shelter. So I do know that they did that, but this is just, I feel compelled to do things to help others. I like helping people. But being a teacher, I kind of get peopled out by the end of the day. I love my students. They are like the best people in the world. And I love my family. They are also the best people in the world. But by the end of the day, I don't want to have to volunteer somewhere because I'm peopled out. Maybe when I retire, maybe I'll have that energy in me. I don't know. My mom and my stepfather, who are in their 80s, just returned from a mission trip to Tennessee where they were helping rebuild some of the destroyed places down there from that hurricane. So I don't have that skill. I don't have the contractor gene or training. I mean, I could learn it if I wanted to. I'm a smart person. I could do that, but I like doing activities where I get to sit and watch TV if I want. Okay, I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube things because that's what interests me more than actual TV shows. But this is my little thing that I do to try to make the world a slightly better place. I also do some sewing. I got into making quilts for kids. There's an organization, it's called Quilts for Kids, and it was originally started to do two things. One is to make quilts for kids who are in the hospital, and the other one is to help get fabric that was going to end up in a landfill out of the landfill. So anyway, pause that conversation. Let's look at, we made it to the end of the row. Now, this is something I do slightly different than a lot of other people that I see. I chain one, flip it, okay, yarn over, and then I start. I don't do the two chains as a turnaround. That's just how I personally do it. There are other ways. You do what works best for you. So that's just my personal choice of how I like to do this. All right. But anyway, I do the quilts for kids as well. I'll show you one of them at another point. Right now, I'm focusing on my crocheting because that's where I'm in the mood, what I'm in the mood to do. So anyway, I get to the point at the end of the day where I just really don't want to have to talk to people. So volunteering at like the going to the mission things, that's not something, I mean, right now I can't really do it anyway because I do have to go to work every day and I can't just take a week off. I could do it during the summer, but yeah, quite honestly, I would rather sit home and do this and make the quilts than go out because I really don't want to have to interact with people like that. That's kind of why I'm starting this YouTube channel thing, is because quite honestly, I like the idea of just, comments versus actually conversation. So anyway, I do apologize that I don't have the cute fancy nails that all the other ones seem to have, but yeah, I'd rather spend the money on yarn than nails. So anyway, not that I'm spending money on yarn. I have made the promise that 2024, I am going to use up what I have and only replace what I need. I'll let you know how that works. So far, I've made it through January and most of February. we're getting there. All right, so you're going to do just back and forth. Now, if you want to make it fancier, you can pick up just the back loop, and that's going to give you that nice little ridge there. And you can do a single crochet instead of a double crochet, and that'll give you closer together ridges. Once again, this is something that I'm doing for the homeless. Not that they don't deserve pretty, but I want to be able to make as many of them as I can. So for convenience sake, I do the double. Plus, I feel that I can do it faster that way. So that's why I do this. It has nothing to do with anything more than that. Though when we first started doing, when I first started doing the hats and scarves, I was told that I wasn't supposed to make them look too pretty. So like I couldn't add tassels on or the pom-poms on the top. I don't know why, but that's what we were told. So I've been taking that to heart, and I've been trying not to do any of those type of things. All right, so once you finish this, I do about 40 rows, and then I fold it in half. Yeah, I got one that's has the 40 rows. Okay. I'm going to bring this out a little bit so you can see. There's a nice 40 rows here. Okay, and it is approximately 20 inches long. If you want to make sure that it fits, you just literally wrap this around your head like that and make sure it fits. Now, we're going to put this together. So, here's my final loop. I just pull the end through and give it a nice little slurp, just tighten there. Okay. Now, I'm going to take our hook, and I'm going to do just one little chain through here just to pick it up. I put my hook through that one, and I put my hook through this, and I'm just doing a slip stitch between the two of them. Okay, and I tighten it down, pick it up here, and pick it up here, and I just tighten the two of them down. I'm just basically sewing the two of these together. If you would rather use a needle and sew them, feel free. Personally, the yarn gets so staticky that I don't particularly like doing it that way, but that's just a personal choice. Everyone has the ability to make their own choices, and what works for me may not work for you. Okay. So we're going to just keep going up here. I do apologize. I am not technologically advanced enough at this point to really know how to pause and do all of these changes over. So I am just going to really try to hurry and go up here, and then I can show you how to finish it off. My students have really encouraged me to make these videos. They're great kiddos, always interested in the different things that I'm making. Over the years, I have made a variety of different things. At one point, when I had fewer students, I actually did make hats for them all the one year. I have too many now, and there's only one of me, and so many of them. But I have a granddaughter, and so I made her a blanket. And actually right now I'm in the process of making, I don't remember if I told you this or not already. I tend to retell stories, so be prepared. I have a student who just recently got married, so I've been working on his and his wife's Afghan. When all else fails, I go to my crocheting. That's my go-to thing. I love sewing, I really do, but I kind of go in spurts as to whether or not I like it or not. Right now I've been making baskets, and I've really been having a lot of fun with that. And as always, I am working on those quilts for kids. Now, I say quilts for kids, but they're not just like little kids. They are for, infant to teenager. I donated my last batch, which was, I think, about 100 of them, to the Lehigh Children's Hospital in Pennsylvania. And I believe I happened to donate them. And the lady said that they had just ran out of blankets. Now, if you don't want to do a sewing, I know lots of people who do crocheted. blankets as well for them. All right, so now I got a nice little chunk left over. I don't need a lot. You'd be amazed at how little you actually need. Now let me go grab my needle. Because I tend to lose things all the time. All right, so we got the needle. Nice. I have one that's a little bit of a point on it this time. It doesn't have to be. That just happened to be the one that I had laying out. Now, you're at the top. You have your two ends. And you're just going to feed this through. You're just back and forth through the top. Easy peasy. Oop, don't want that to get stuck in there. I'm going to use that at the end to tie my knot to keep it nice and tied nicely. Okay, and we just keep working our way through, feeding it around. You can see how it's starting to gather. Now, if any of this videoing isn't great, I do apologize. I am doing this all by myself because I am an independent woman and I refuse to ask for help. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but my kids are at a point in their lives where they are all very independent, and my husband has dog babysitting duty. My one son brought home his dog. I'm a cat person. I don't know if I said that or not. I love cats. They are my, they're the soothing of my soul, just like crocheting is. And proceeded to leave the dog at our house. He did talk about taking her back, but he's working a lot. And quite honestly, my personal opinion is that animals that you bring into your home are part of the family and deserve to be treated as such. And so leaving them in a crate or I just, for long periods of time, I just don't like that idea. I'm not saying it doesn't work for some people. That's not my personal opinion. All right, so now you have it all. Here, let me pull this back again. They're all nicely bunched. You can see how the one end is bigger and this end is nice and bunched together like this. Now, once you have it like that, then you're going to go back and forth across it a few times just to finish it off. Oh, I am going to tie a knot here just to kind of solidly connect these two sides together. Okay, now we're going to go ahead. I do like using the slightly sharper needle point for this reason. And I'm just going to pick up the top of the loops and put it through. And then I go back to the other side, top of the loops. I'm going to do this 5 or 6 times, depending how, until I feel happy with it. Minimum of 4, but more likely 6. And if it's feeling really loose, then I will do even more. It just depends on how well it feels like it's went together. All right, let's give it one more after this, and I think we should be done. And then I will turn it right side out, and you can have a little look-see. All right, I'm going to tie another knot just because I don't want it to come undone. Give it a good double knot there. Give it a snip. Save that to put in my stuffing bin because we don't waste yarn. Okay, now I'm going to have to turn it right side out and then I'll have to show it to you because quite honestly my arms aren't long enough. All right. And here we have the hat. Okay, just like that. And I hope you enjoyed making this hat with me, and hope you'll follow and do all those other things. I don't know. I just hope you had a good time.